That landing was smoother than my last 3 commercial flights. What a legend. When I saw his hand shaking while typing in the code, it hit me how afraid he was. But he never lost it. Brave guy. Bravo. Another emergency landing. I'm not sure what was going on there. I thought the student might have floated the aircraft too high and was going to stall, so the instructor applied full throttle and appeared to take over controls to soften the landing. Why the aircraft did not maintain center to the runway and allowed to wander toward the trees, only they would know. This student pilot just passed the first exam called No Panic. Nothing to be ashamed of, student pilots make mistakes. But your decision to not panic and fly the airplane straight ahead while troubleshooting was the right choice. A choice that even many seasoned pilots would fail to make. I can't get enough of these emergency landings. It's good he was close to the airport. Nice job. Watching the video, it was sort of freaking me out how his toe was not gaining altitude fast enough. That was an amazing skill put to practice. Such perfection. Urgent situations seek urgent decisions. That was on the numbers, and good practice for when there's less runway ahead. It's also important to mention that this guy is actually a pilot instructor, so probably this is not a big deal for him. This is the new lowest landing record on the Skiathos airport. Amazing capture. This is exactly what you want to see as aviation geeks. Anyway, the programmed gyroscope doesn't go that low, and it was too smooth to chalk up the close call due to wind conditions. And I still don't get why there are so many people exposing themselves to such a danger. Brace for impact is something plane passengers never want to hear. I started holding my breath without even realizing it. Such a tense moment. But the professionalism of the team and the calmness of all the passengers is very commendable. Insane how nobody panicked when the pilot himself sounded terrified. Bird in the engine! Sounds like a horror movie, right? Well, that pilot clicked on that like button. Now really, the pilot's on point. Clearly up on his V2 cuts. The passengers of this aircraft had better be sending him some thank you grams. That's a horrible time to lose an engine, and literally one of the most dangerous conditions that can occur on takeoff. Emergency landing on a highway. I like how people in California see an airplane landing on a highway and literally don't stop. It's like, no big deal, let me pass them. Most of the traffic didn't even respond, nor were they slowing down. But anyway, I gotta say, this pilot did a really good job. And another one of these. Emergency landing on a busy road. Props to that pilot for not freaking out under pressure, finding the safest landing spot, and controlling the situation to a halt. How scary that must have been. Flying along, enjoying your day, and the damn motor quits. Imagine the police then saying, "Sir, do you know why I pulled you over?" Perro Airport is considered one of the most challenging airports in the world. Incredibly flown, Captain. Even the FO was dumbstruck. Great knowledge of aircraft handling, and done with so much confidence. Peru Airport is just another level. That must be one of the greatest experiences for a pilot, getting a prospector's view of the Peruvian mountain, a downhill run of Pikes Peak, and resisting your left shoulder parrot whispering, "Take that final corner at the end of the runway at 80 miles an hour, like a winning F1 driver." Landing in stormy weather. Truly precise control during the landing crosswind limits. Seeing this footage is a boost for the confidence of nervous landlubber passengers like me. People saying pilots don't do much because autopilot does most of the job? Well, take a look at this. Landing in Antarctica. Would you feel comfortable being on a plane that's about to land on pure ice in Antarctica? These planes must have some very strong brakes. Anyway, the ice field doesn't end, and the plane will stop eventually. The most epic landing ever! The Hudson River landing! This video shows not only the amazing skill of the airline pilot, but also of those maneuvering the rescue ferries into position. Amazing how they managed to park up next to the Airbus without damage or injury. This might be the most famous flight, known as the JetBlue landing. I like how the news crew is basically like, okay, well, this is either gonna work out or it's gonna be a fiery crash. Either way, we're gonna have it live for you right here on Eyewitness 12. This was an extremely hard takeoff. The strengths those surfaces take are pretty significant, but you can see how fast the corrections are done. Really amazing view. And then that wonderful moment when you finally break through the clouds to clear blue, and the rain is then below. That was just a terrible landing. Obviously a very strong crosswind. You could see it catching the plane as it was going relatively slow. Perhaps more use of the rudder and less of the ailerons would have made it smoother, but what do I know? And now it's time for some Dutch roll. A fantastic example of don't panic, slow is fast, and amazing control to keep from overcorrecting. I believe this Russian pilot smashed that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Gotcha twice. In all seriousness now, the pilot lost his hydraulic pressure for his steering and had to use his engines to turn. This looks even cooler on a smaller plane. It's definitely not a job for a rookie. You need some serious pilot skills up there. Italian army planes are making the Italian flag in the sky. With Luciano Pavarotti's music in the background, this is even cooler. Around 70 military jets made a real sky spectacle during the Queen's Platinum Jubilee in London last year. How breathtaking! What a great way to honor the Queen. Just another Russian Mikoyan MiG-29 formation pair. One of the jets actually touched the runway with its tail. That was the giveaway at the end, but otherwise, simply incredible. Rarely seen aircraft formations flying over Buckingham Palace. That must have been something wonderful to see in person. When do you ever get the chance to see 22 Typhoons flying overhead at once? That's one hell of an air show. This footage is showing a part of the world record for the largest formation flight with 32 aircraft. It's no surprise why the US Army is the world's largest and strongest. Let's see a bit from World War II aircraft. These engine sounds would send chills down the spine of a World War II survivor. The fact that these planes still run is a testament to the people keeping them running and the quality behind those magnificent machines. The worst nightmare. A small passenger plane made a crash landing on water on the way to Hawaii. Actually, this crash landing was flawlessly executed by the pilot, and the passengers kept cool heads and exited calmly and orderly. Bravo! A DHL cargo plane slid out of control and crashed on the runway of Juan Santa Maria Airport in Costa Rica. No wonder my package didn't get delivered. Emergency landing. That field was much better than an airport. It's amazing how calm he is. Unbelievable. When you have a good teacher, the emergency landing sounds like going to the candy store. Which one is the best footage in your opinion? Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.